topic, what I'm going to deal with, is a no-nonsense approach at marriage so that black women can gain a very serious understanding. Because a lot of women today want to be married, but they have no idea of what marriage is and what is their purpose. Most women think that getting into a marriage is about a man taking care of them. Today you're going to learn the truth. After you learn the truth, you decide if you want to be married. Because based on my research and my understanding, most black women are not fit for any marriage. They should be left alone, literally. Because until you as a woman mature, humble yourself, and recognize that you have a very serious role to play in a marriage, you're never going to be happy. You see, most of you women, you get your ideas of marriage from TV. You get your ideas of marriage from these sitcoms that lie to you. You get what you know from feminists. They got you believing that you don't need a man. They make you believe you're independent. You go out there trying to establish careers and jobs and all this other stuff. You buy property and homes, but you want to be married. I don't understand how is that going to work when you bought a house that's in your name, but yet you met a decent man and you're expecting that this man is going to make you a wife. Like, whose house are we going to live in? Yours? Not at all. Because see, it's the man who's supposed to have the house, apartment, whatever it is. If it's a place of dwelling, it is what it is. You don't necessarily have to have a house. You can be in an apartment. For all the people who may be against an apartment, something's wrong with you. Because the majority of people live in apartments, and some people prefer to have an apartment, a condo, whatever the case is, because it's more convenient. The point that I'm making here is that most women today fail when it comes to understanding marriage. They want a man to wife them up, but these women are not ready to be a wife. Let me make it plain and simple for you. When you get married to a man, your job is to serve that man. If you're not interested in serving that man, you don't belong in any marriage. If you're one of these women who have this attitude of, I'm not nobody's slave, don't get married. Because the whole purpose for you as a woman being married to a man is to cater to that man. If you're not going to be ready and willing to cook that man food every night, don't get married. If you're not going to be the kind of woman who's going to provide your man sex all the time, don't get married. If you're not going to be interested in raising children, don't get married. If you go into a marriage with this mindset of monogamy, don't get married. Why? Because it's going to fail. It's going to fail because you're going inside of a marriage thinking that you're not required to do anything but sit on your ass and wait for a man to go to work to provide you with a big house, car, land, and all of this type of shit. But yet you ain't doing a damn thing but consuming all that man's resources. And then when you're ready, you want to throw in the towel talking about, we have unreconcilable differences, so I'm going to go get me a divorce. And now you want to collect alimony and all kinds of shit from this man. See, this is why I tell brothers to leave that so-called Americanized marriage contract alone. Because most of these women are not educated in marriage or its purpose. Far too many women in the beginning stages, when they meet a man, they talk about, when I get married, I'm going to cook, I'm going to clean, I'm going to have sex all the time. You're a motherfucking liar. You're lying. Because real marriage and real people who are married can tell you that you're bullshit. You understand? I know a lot of people that are married. I hear the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, horror stories, all kinds of stuff. Do you understand? Marriage, to the majority of black women,
but they kill me.
is like slavery. They get into it because they just want to be married. But once it's time for them to perform and actually do what a wife is supposed to do, they can't seem to perform that. Your job as a woman is to cook. Not to be giving your husband any lip. Not to be, oh, well, I'm upset with you, so I'm not cooking tonight because I'm retaliating, so I'm just not going to fix no dinner tonight because I'm upset with you. If you're not willing to fix that man dinner after he just came from a hard fucking day's work, he don't need you. Do you understand me? If you're a married woman and you ain't sucking your man's dick, you ain't fucking him, you ain't giving him no pussy, your man is going months, literally, with no sex from you. Don't complain when your man is fucking another woman. I'm keeping everything real. Because a lot of you women are stupid when it comes to this. You really think that you can get into a marriage and not have sex with a man and think that man is going to be faithful to you and you only? Are you fucking crazy? He's going to be fucking some other woman. He's going to be getting his dick sucked by another woman. And guess what? Another woman will be glad to do it. Especially if he's telling that woman about all his household problems and how his wife is not sexually active and how she just lets him go and don't cater to him. Oh, she's going to suck his dick all the time. So when your man is coming home late from work and he's always telling you that he's doing overtime or he's hanging with his boy, no, he's with that other woman getting his dick sucked, getting some good pussy. Because you ain't giving him shit, so why the fuck you complaining for? I'm keeping shit a buck. Because a lot of women don't understand that their job is to serve. Your job is to serve. I hear a lot of women say shit like, I'm not no slave. In a marriage, you are that man's slave. Let's put it all out there on the table. If you don't like my tone, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't get married. The whole idea of you being a wife is to be a fucking slave. At the end of the day, you're the one catering to that man. You're the one who have to serve that man. You're the one who have to wash his clothes, cook him food, raise the children, clean that house, provide him sex all the time. I'm not talking about once a month, once a year, all the time. When your man come home from work, your man shouldn't have to come looking for you. You ought to look for him. Your man go into the shower, that's your time to go there and suck his dick. He just came from work stress. Suck his dick. You women, you don't know how to cater to a man. But before you got with that man, you used to talk all kinds of shit about how when you get married, you're going to be fucking, you're going to be sucking, you're going to be doing all of this stuff. You're going to cook for him, rub his back, massage his feet. But once you get married, all of that goes out the window. Why? Because most women today are not wife material. I'm telling you the truth. The majority of black women today are not wife material. They have to undergo education. They have to undergo the understanding that their job is to cater. Your job is to cater to a man's needs. That means when it comes to sex, you're supposed to be his fucking whore. Real talk. A lot of you talk so much shit about, oh, I don't know why he looking at all those women, and I don't know why he got these pics in his phone, because you ain't doing nothing with him. You ain't sexy around the house. You ain't walking around the house in some nice lingerie. You ain't smelling good. You ain't got your hair done. You don't got yourself together when you're in the house with your man. All you do is let yourself go. You ain't trying to look sexy. The only time black women look good around the house is early in the morning before they go to work.
Oh, look at
because they specialize in looking good for when they go to work. They dress nice. They look like fashion models when it's time to go to work. They wear their best perfume. But when they come home, do they take a shower and jump into something sexy and walk around the house with some flip-flops on?
They're too
and
tired.
A nice outfit and cooking at the same time while looking good and doing a little dance to some music so that when their husband come in, their husband can literally grab them from behind and be like, "How was your day, sweetheart? Was it good?" No, they ain't doing this. These women will wear a big, ugly shirt, a rag on their head, some busted, dirty sneakers, smelling. They smell like underarm onions. But yet you expect this man to be fucking pleased with you. No, he's not. He's going to be pleased with all the sisters that are walking by him in the street. So it's going to be a very hectic so-called marriage. A lot of women today are failures when it comes to marriage because they don't understand that a marriage requires a lot of work when it comes to raising children. Do you know raising children is a full-time job with no vacation time, with no real breaks? You literally have to tend to your children. Now, what if there's a situation where you have two kids, you have a house to take care of, you got to cook, clean, wash clothes, take the kids to and from school. On top of that, you got to help them with their homework. You got to clean. You got to do all kinds of stuff and go grocery shopping.
Laundry.
And you have this schedule that's very, very hectic. The day practically goes by in a second because once you get up in the morning, you got to tend to the kids. You find it very difficult to tend to your husband because it seems like tending to the children has become so important to you, you forgot about your husband. And that's another thing. In most of these relationships, because the women are overworked with raising children, they forget about their husbands or they just totally neglect their husbands. So, your husband is literally wondering where the fuck his wife is. You never look good for your husband. The only time he see you is when you're with the kids. You're never with him. And you wonder why he's eating some other woman's pussy. You wonder why his phone is filled with all kinds of women. You wonder why he's in the inboxes of all different types of sisters talking freaky. You wonder why your man is out there doing all these things. Obviously, you ain't providing him nothing. So he's going to go get whatever he need from a willing and able body. Do you understand? When it comes to raising children as black women, you have to understand you need help. No black woman can raise children on her own. You're going to need help. This is why I talk about polygyny. This is why I teach on a man can have more than one wife. Because in time, having, more than one child, it's going to get pretty hectic for you as a woman. You could sit there and try to act like you could do everything. I'm telling you, you can't. Because while you're breastfeeding that child, your other child needs your attention. At the same time, your husband is hungry as hell. He just came from work. You didn't cook. He's hungry. So hold up. You got to let your husband wait. Buy him a damn pizza to kind of, brush him off while you tending to the kids and breastfeeding. The house is crazy because you can't find no time to clean it. But yet you think you're Superman, Superwoman, matter of fact, thinking you could do everything by yourself. When you can't. This is why you need a sister wife. This is why you may need more than one sister wife. Because all the kids that the average black woman is raising in today's day will make her life a living hell. And if you think that you got it easy, keep having babies. The more children you have as a black woman, the more difficult it will be to take care of your house, to keep your house clean, to keep your house clean, to keep your house clean. Can I get a witness? How many black women at the sound of my voice, you have a dirty ass crib? You have a dirty ass crib because you can't find the time to take care of your house by keeping it clean. Why? Because you're dealing with the children. Not only are you occupied with dealing with the children, you don't have no time to even do anything with your husband. So your husband is literally just that guy in the house that walks in, goes to work, come home and you never spend no time with him. And you wonder why people separate. You wonder why the love is lost. You wonder why the attraction has gone away. You wonder why people just not interested in each other and marriages fail. It's because women make them like that. Women, because of their neglect in many things, causes their marriages to fail. One, because they don't know what a marriage is. Two, they don't cater to their man. Your man, by far, is the main one in that household that require all your attention as a woman. Before you even deal with your children, your man needs to be catered to. Before you even go to your children, if you put your children before your husband, you're out of order as a woman. When your man comes in to that house from a hard day's work, your job as a woman is to cater to him, make sure he's good, then go deal with them children. Because he's the breadwinner of that house. He's the one who go out in the rain, sleet, and snow. He's the one who be sick and doing all kinds of things. He's the one who have to deal with a lot of bullshit. And yet, when he come home, you put him on the back burner? Someone who have to wait until you're done doing all your other duties before you even think about him? That's a damn shame. And you wonder why these men are frustrated and why most men are telling brothers, don't marry none of these women. Don't do it. You brothers are better off being by yourself. Because the average black woman don't know how to cater. She don't know how to serve. She don't know what it means to serve. Everything to her is, I'm not a slave. I'm not nobody's slave. I ain't no slave. Well, what the fuck are you married for? What are you married for? Why do you get married to a man if you don't want to fucking serve? Like, I don't understand. Why do you as a woman want to get married to a man, but you don't want to serve him? You don't want to cater to him. You don't think that it's important to cater to your man. When your man walk in the door from work, you supposed to make sure that he have a hot plate. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. When he walk in that house, you stop whatever it is that you're doing and you greet that man. You greet him with a hug and a kiss. How was your day, honey? That's called fucking respect.
A genuine one.
Half of you sisters don't know how to fucking respect a man. He out there working and toiling. You don't even acknowledge him. You don't even acknowledge this Negro. You go there and you honor that man. How was your day? How was your day? A lot of you sisters, you're always worrying about your fucking day. Your day is all about serving that man. Like I said, ladies, if you don't want to serve, don't get married. I'm letting every woman know. If you don't want to serve and cater to a man, don't get married. Because a real man want a woman who's going to serve, not a woman who's going to talk a lot of bullshit. A real man want a woman who's going to cater to him and shut the fuck up. A real man is not looking for a woman who's going to be whining all day, complaining about how much she got to do this and how much she got to do that. Listen, if you don't want to do anything, you shouldn't be married. That is like you on the job and you complaining about how hard the job is. You signed up for the job, stop complaining. If you don't like it, quit. It's just that simple. And this is why the majority of black women end their marriages, because they can't deal with it. They cannot deal with the fact that they have to serve a man. They don't want to do that because they were never taught how to do that. It's funny how everything in life, when it comes to jobs and occupations, we all have to undergo training. We all have a point in which we have to have training so that we can be competent while working. But for whatever reason, people want to jump into marriages and don't have no manual or understanding on what they got to do as a wife. Because men are providers. The job of a man is to build his empire, build a family. Women don't build families. Men are the seed carriers. They're the ones who build the families. They're the ones who plant the seed in you, the woman, and you bring forth babies. He is the one who creates the family, not you. Your job is to serve. Your job is to cater. Your job is to fucking serve that man as your God. You, as a woman, are supposed to serve that man. Listen, I want that to sink in your head, because a lot of you women talk all of this garbage about how bad you want to be married, but you really don't. You don't want to serve no man.
Talk on social media.
Because at the end of the day, the proof of what you're made of will be shown in your servanthood, especially if you're a so-called Christian woman. Christian women love to talk about how they can't wait for the Lord to send them a husband. And then when they finally get married, their marriage fails. Why? Because their husband come home from work and he asks his wife, "Did you cook?" She pops an attitude. "What do you mean if I cook? I got to deal with the kids. I had to go run here. I don't know what in the world you think this is. I'll cook when I'm ready." You're out of order, woman. When your man asks you, "Why haven't you cooked?" you don't supposed to be giving him no fucking lip service. You're supposed to say, "Honey, I apologize. I am sorry. I'm going to get started on that right now." That is what you call a humble sister who recognized the authority of her man, and she honored that man enough to respect him. Because there should be never a time that your man come home from work and a hot plate is not there for him. That's a damn shame. That's not good. And if you're making excuses for doing your job as a wife, you don't need to be a wife. You don't need to be one. I'm keeping everything a buck. You as a woman have to learn how to humble yourself. And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, 99.9% of black women today don't know what it means to be a wife. Matter of fact, mostly all women of all ethnic groups don't even know what it means to be a wife, unless they had the training from their parents who had a successful long-term marriage. Because if you had parents that had a long, successful marriage, the mother will most likely instill the values of servanthood in her daughters. And the fathers will teach the men how to be providers, how to be breadwinners, how to be teachers, how to be builders. But because people have no training, no morals, no upbringing in positive homes with long-term marriages, the women grow up thinking that marriage is all about a man serving a woman. And that is what's going on today. Women want to get married so a man can serve them. Everything is backwards. Rather than the women serving and catering to the man, the women are looking for the men to serve, cater, and spoil them with gifts, trips, vacations, nice things, clothes, shopping sprees, and so forth, and a house full of furniture and a car. That is not marriage. That's reality TV. Real marriage is about you being in that bathroom, scrubbing that tub. That's real life. You going on that hot stove, preparing a meal. That's real life. You washing clothes and learning how to use that washing machine. That's real life. Because if you ain't there to cater to your man, who else will do it? That means he needs another woman. Because you're not doing your job. And listen, over 85% of women that are married are not doing their job. I would go as far to say 95% of women. 95% of black women who are married are not doing their job as a wife. They're not. These men are frustrated. These men have no choice but to go out there and deal with other women on the side. Real talk. Because if they're not being catered to, what do you expect those men to do? Stay lonely? Rot? Stay hungry? Do you know how many black men come home from work and there's no food to eat? He literally have to stop at the Chinese restaurant because his wife don't cook. His wife do not cook for him. She's always making an excuse about how much she got to take care of the kids and how she don't have no time. If you don't have no time, that man need another wife. Because obviously you don't have no time. And see, this is why I look at women who are anti-polygyny and I say you're out of line. Because if you clearly, as a woman, don't have no time to cook, no time to clean, no time to provide sex for that man, then that man need another wife to fuck. He need another wife to help you around the house. He need another wife to provide him some pussy. Because if you're not going to be available to be sexually active with that man, he don't need to be suffering with you. He really don't need. He don't need you. He don't need to be sitting around dry as hell, horny as a motherfucker, worrying about where he gonna get head from when he got an able-bodied wife sitting right there who can suck his dick whenever. But instead, he gotta sit and watch porn and masturbate because his woman don't provide him no sex. In those circumstances, bro, it's time for you to go find another woman. And I mean that. Go find yourself another woman, and if your woman get mad and want to cry and want to mope and groan, to hell with her. Real talk. Like, how the hell could you be a woman and allow your man to go weeks and months and months without no pussy from you? And you expect that man to be happy with you? Are you crazy? You expect him to understand. Well, you know, I'm just busy with the children, so I'm sure my husband understands. Your husband understands that you're a fucking failure. That's what he understands. He understands that you don't love him because, truth be told, if you're not providing sex for your man, you don't love him. If you're not cooking for your man, you don't love him. If you're not washing your man's clothes, but he gotta wash his own clothes, you don't love him. Because men will judge everything you do for him. And when you as a woman, as a wife, or whatever the case is, are not doing a damn thing for your husband, other than fixing some breakfast, you ain't no fucking wife. I'm just keeping shit a buck. You're just that woman who's in the crib, who take care of kids, and go out. Other than that, you're not a wife. Not to that man. Because if you're a wife, you'll be actively serving him. How many of you women, at the sound of my voice, have ever massaged your man's feet and his legs after a hard day's work? How many of you women walked in the room where your man is sitting down, took off his shoes, massaged his feet, or you waited for him to take a shower so that he could unwind, and then you waited for him to sit down, you massage his feet, massage his legs, massage his back, and make him feel as comfortable as possible, and give him a hug and tell him how much you love and appreciate him. When was the last time you as a woman done that? See, if you don't do that, that's a damn shame. Like, real talk. Like, how could you even call that man your husband when you don't even care about him? You don't even care. But if the brother was to drop dead, you're the first one who want to know where's the life insurance. You're the first one who want to know how will you be able to get a part of that pension. Listen, that's sad. And this is why I tell brothers, most of you brothers that are in these marriages, these women only have you there as financial security, but when things really hit the fan, they can collect. Bottom line.
Adios.
Real talk. Because if you were to die today, these women will be on the phone trying to figure out what and how much they're going to be getting from your life insurance. As sad as it may be, they would not be concerned about you because they never was. And this is why brothers need to be mindful when they're dealing with these women. Be very mindful because these women have no training. No training. And I'm not saying brothers all have training as well, because most brothers need training too. Training on how to be providers. All of this I taught in my videos already. So there's no new video that I need to make. I made countless videos teaching men on how to be a provider, on how to be a husband, on how to be a leader. I've made videos on this already. Problem is, people don't view those videos because they don't think it's important. You understand? But what I'm dealing with here is the fact that most black women are not prepared for marriage. You're not prepared. Most of you who are dying to be married, I'm here to tell you, don't get married if you're not willing to serve. Don't get married if you're not willing to serve. I can't stress that enough, because a lot of you get in your feelings. You're in your feelings right now. You're like, I'm not no slave. What do you think this is? See, you have what is known as an independent spirit. You're not built for marriage. You have a feminist spirit. You're not built for no marriage. Feminist women are not built for no marriage. You understand? I always like to say that a feminist woman is pretty much a woman who haven't had any good sex. Pretty much, that's what it is. A feminist is pretty much defined as a woman who haven't had any good loving from a man, sexually. That's why she have that mentality. You understand? Most women today are not trained in the art of being a wife. Being a wife is all about serving. It's about catering. Do you know what that means? Do you know what it is when a waiter serves his customer and go out of his way to make sure that the customers are good, make sure their glasses are filled, make sure that they have whatever they need, utensils, whatever the case is, a little music. Maybe the music is too loud. The guest may ask, could you lower the music a little bit? And the waiter will be like, yes, sir, and go and do it. See, a servant is not there to give you lip. A servant just do and obey. Men are looking for women that are going to obey. But how are women going to obey a man when they've been taught that black men ain't shit? How are these women going to serve you as a man if these women believe they're the man?
God.
Because most women feel it's their job to get an education, to get a job, to get a house, to get a car. But yet she expects to have a man who is a provider when currently she's a provider. Isn't that backwards? So you tell me, how does that woman give up her career to be a stay-at-home wife? And also, if you're a woman who thinks you can have this great career while being a wife, think again. Because if you're at a career for 8 to 12 hours a day, who actually are you serving? Your husband, your family, or a job? Correct. You're serving a job more, which means you spend more time at a company than you do in your husband's arms. And we wonder why most affairs happen at the workplace with black women. The majority of affairs, cheating with women, happen at the workplace. Why? Because when your woman is at the workplace, it gives her an opportunity to be around other men. And when she's around these other men, she's exposed to all sorts of negative behavior, and she will become influenced and corrupted. No woman who is a decent woman needs to be in a 9-to-5 at any workplace environment. Any man who allow his woman to go to a 9-to-5 should might as well give all the brothers at his job condoms so that they can have sex with his wife. Because most likely, she's having sex with somebody over there. Why? Because most affairs happen at the workplace. Most women are messing with someone at the workplace. You're around these people a lot, you spend a lot of time together, and you get comfortable with them, and before you know it, as a woman, you may have a husband, but when you at work, you sucking some other man's dick. Real talk. A lot of women do this. A lot of women are having sex with other men at work, after work. They go to the telly, they go somewhere, and it is what it is. Because these women do not belong in that environment. A woman is supposed to be home, taking care of the house, not taking care of another man's business. Do you understand? A woman is supposed to be raising her children. Your children are not supposed to be with some other person, some other institution, or some grandmother. No, your children belong with you as a woman. If you're a black woman and you are not the one raising your children, shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame
Don't
on
say
you.
you're a parent when you spend no time.
Don't say you're a parent when the children's always with grandma.
Don't say you're a mother when the ones
Cut it out.
who are the mothers are the daycares, the schools,
Stop
grandma,
it, Biddy.
and auntie. Because if you're at work for 8 to 12 hours, That's 8 to 12 hours out of your life. You spend 0 time with your children, 0 time with your man, 0 time cleaning your house, 0 time cooking. Now explain to me, how do you take care of your children, your husband, cook, clean, shop for food if you're at a 9 to 5, 8 to 12 hours a day? That's right. You won't be able to do a damn thing. And we wonder why marriages fail. It's because you have no training. Because a woman who is trained won't be at no 9 to 5 talking about she's a career woman when she need to be home catering to her husband. And if you feel catering to a man is bad, if you feel serving a man is only for a slave, you're not a woman. Because a woman who is humble, who understands her role, who understands why she was born, will be willing and able and can't wait to serve her man. Women who complain about servanthood should never be married. Never. Because if you're not faithful to taking care of your man's needs, you have failed as a wife. Is only for a slave, you're not a woman. Because a woman who understands her role, who understands why she was born, will be willing and able and can't wait to serve her man. Women who complain about servanthood should never be married. Never. Because if you're not faithful to taking care of your man's needs, you have failed as a wife. And from Ringo TV RAW. And women who complain about servanthood should never be married. Never. Because if you're not faithful to taking care of your man's needs, you have failed as a wife. And far too many women get a failure report as being wives. I just want to put it together so people can gain this understanding. This is real talk. Real talk. You're not going to find this in no school. You're not going to get this from your pastor. You can only get this from Ringo TV RAW. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, leave your comments, your feedback, your hate mail. Let me know what you think. Because this is a serious video. A lot of women are going to be pretty much in their feelings. They're going to be like, no man, he can cook his damn food himself. Make sure you don't need a husband. I keep telling you, any woman, any woman's mind, have to understand that she is to serve. If you're not trying to serve, I don't need you. You know, real talk, this is not even about no fucking pussy. Like, you know, as a grown-ass man, I need a woman or women who understand how to listen, who understand what it means to serve, who understand how to take care of a home, who understand how to cook, make sure that my needs are met, make sure that I'm at peace, that my stress level is down,
and that will be received tenfold.
that my body is at ease.
Reciprocity.
Women that understand the importance of making sure that I'm encouraged. You know, men need encouragement. See, if your man come home from work, and like I said, you don't greet him, you don't encourage him, you don't hug him, that's a sad situation. Because most of you women got so accustomed to just kind of letting things go that you totally neglected your man. And you wonder why your man is so displeased with you. You wonder why. And brothers, don't be afraid to say you're displeased with your wife or woman or whoever you're with. If you're with a woman and she's not catering to you, it's okay to let her know that you're displeased. Let her know that. Don't ever make a woman feel like you're happy with her when she ain't shit. Just keep it a buck. You know, you have to let women know, look, I'm not pleased with you. You don't cater to me. You don't serve me. You don't do anything for me. All you do is complain. You know, a lot of you women, you complain all day. You complain, you nag, you fuss.
All
You
day.
don't even take the time to even greet this man when he come home from work. Do you know how that make a man feel? To know that his own wife, the one who's supposed to know him, don't even acknowledge him. That's sad. That's sad that the home, a place that should be a safe haven of peace, is actually a place that produces more stress for most men. And you wonder why most men, when they come home from work, they go to happy hour. Or they go by their boy's house and they just have a few drinks and just chill out for about 2-3 hours before he actually go home. Because going home is actually more stressful than being at work. Most guys would rather be at work than be home because their house is a miserable place to be. And what I'm trying to teach black women in this video is education needs to begin. You need to educate yourself on what it means to serve a man as a woman. Because if your idea of marriage is a fantasy of a man just putting you in this big fancy house and he's going to have a whole bunch of money, you're never going to have any problems, and you're going to be able to shop and buy all the fancy clothes you love, think again. Because that's not how it's going to be. You understand? I suggest that if you're a man and you're providing and you're the breadwinner, that you keep your wife or wives on an allowance. You understand? Where you give them monies based on the requirements and needs of the household so that she can run and do errands and ask for receipts and documentation showing where she distributed these monies. Because most brothers, you know, you're trying to make your wives or wife do certain tasks and they're not doing it. And it's very frustrating if you're a man and you're providing and you're doing all of this and your wife is not pretty much doing what is needed to take care of the house the way she needs to. So good money management is very important as a black man. Having good management over your resources of knowing what comes in and what goes out in terms of finances is very important. You understand? And if you're a sister and you feel some type of way when I said your woman need to be on an allowance or whatever the case is, why do you feel that way? Your job is not to be spoiled as a wife. Your job is to cater to your man.
That's icing on the cake,
though. Your man
though.
know what you need. Your man will know if you need clothes,
You could be spoiled
shoes,
after
so forth, and he'll buy what you need.
once the man feels respected, once the man get and feels all of those
you need to be disciplined. You need discipline.
receiving all those what he need to
Those who
receive.
don't understand, women need discipline. You think it's all about disciplining children. No, women need discipline as well. Real talk. A lot of you women, you need a spanking. Real talk. Real talk. You need to have some sort of disciplinary action when you're out of line. When you didn't cook, you need a memo. When you didn't do something, that's a problem. And if you have 2 or more of those, you need to be disciplined. You need to have certain privileges taken away from you. Because we're not going to spoil you as women. This is why I teach women to be humble. But all of this that I'm speaking here is going to go right in one ear and right out the next. Because the majority of Americanized women, like I told you, brothers, are not white material. And if you're a brother and you get married to these kind of women, and they don't have no training, you're just wasting your damn time. Because your marriage is going to end. She's going to get, alimony, spousal support, and child support, and all types of supports. You're going to be out of a car. She's going to take your house. She's going to take half of your pension. She's going to take everything from you. And you're going to be pissed off. And you're going to remember my videos where I told you don't marry her. So be very mindful when it comes to marrying a black woman in today's day. If she's not trained, if she's not educated in the understanding of marriage and her role, don't marry her. I don't care how much she says she's a Christian. I don't care how much she says she's spiritual. I don't care how much she says she's conscious. The tree is known by their fruit. Give her a test. Give her some sort of trial period where you see where she's at. See how she caters to you. See how she handles herself when hard times come. See how she acts when the going gets tough. See how she reacts when she don't get her way. This is how you'll know a woman's character. Women can act sweet in the beginning, and then when things don't go their way, they turn on you. Be mindful, brothers, that what I'm speaking here is truth. Trust and believe. I don't give you BS. I'm giving you real talk. You're not getting this for free from any other place. I provide you real talk that you can take and actively use in your life to understand what's going on. Know what a woman is about. Understand what you're getting yourself into. Don't just look at a beautiful face. Don't just look at a pretty ass. Don't just look at her body. Stop it. Get your mind off of the pussy and get your mind focused on the character of that woman. Is she prepared to serve you? Do she speak of serving you? Do she talk about how much she want to serve and please you? If she ain't talking that language, you need to find another woman. Because most of you brothers are setting yourself up for failure. I kid you not. I didn't make this video to sugarcoat no airs, to play games with nobody. I'm here to give you work. Stuff your parents didn't teach you. Stuff you ain't gonna get at no school, no church. No advice line is gonna give you what I give you. I give you the real. Marriage is a business. It's a lot of work. And if people don't know their roles, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. As a woman, if you are not embracing polygyny, no man should deal with you. I'm letting you know that right now. Any man you get with will deal with another woman at some point in time in his life while with you. So get over yourself. Get over yourself. It's in his nature to deal with another woman. And if your man is not interested in no other woman, something's wrong with him. You understand? He must have really emasculated himself to the point where he's convinced that he needs only you. And that's a damn lie. Because when you start acting up and you're not providing sex and you're not cooking, let's see how long he put up with that all I need is you and all I love is you. He gonna be in another woman's drawers very soon. And I don't blame him. Because if you're a woman and you are not actively serving, your man is on the grounds to get with any other woman. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And even if you were doing what you're supposed to do, he can still have another woman. So don't think for a minute that if you did everything, that for whatever reason, it's going to limit his desire on getting with another woman. Because any sort of fear you have of your man being with another woman will cause that man to get with another woman. You as a woman are supposed to be focused on serving that man and that man only. If you're focused on what woman he with, or if he's checking out another sister, you're wasting your time being vain. You're supposed to be like, look, if my man is interested in another sister and she's good, quality, and she ain't got no baggage, and she don't come with no venereal diseases and so forth, hey, it's all good with me. As long as she love him, as long as she respect him, and I don't got to tell her a thing or two, I'm all right. You may be in your feelings at first, but as women, you better wake up to this reality. Because your man is going to be with another woman regardless how you feel. Regardless how you feel. So it's best that you learn how to deal with these issues. So that you and that woman can work together, so that you can take care of that house and them kids. So that y'all can both rotate and have time with that man. Because either that or he going to have time with his side woman and he going to be with her all the time. Because he's just not going to be home. I'm giving you real game.
Make it where I want to come home.
Is something you're supposed to study. Understanding your role as a woman is something you're supposed to study. And you're supposed to be watching my videos 24/7 so you can grow. If you're not willing to do that, don't complain when your relationship fell. Because I tell you, let's stand here today. Any woman at the sound of my voice, when you get married, if you don't apply these principles, your marriage is going to fail. I guarantee you can take this to the bank. Your marriage is going to fail. You're going to start off, it's going to seem cool, you're going to try to run your marriage in a certain way, and once you start seeing that man execute his authority, you're going to try to kick in to usurp authority over that man, trying to be the one who decide and make decisions. He's going to shut you down and tell you, look, I'm the head of this house, not you. That's when you're going to get in your independent black woman spirit, and you're going to be like, well, I don't want to be with you no more, and your marriage is going to end. I keep telling you. I'm telling you the pretty much the beginning from the end. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the beginning of how things are going to be and how it's going to end. And I'm also telling you how it's going to end too. Because people think that when I speak, I'm just, trying to hear myself. I'm trying to help you people. I really am. I'm trying to give you information that you're not going to get from nowhere else. Marriage is a business. It's not a game. It's not something you get in to see if you can test drive some sister to see if the sex is good before you commit to marrying her. It's not about that. And half of you brothers need to learn how to be grown men. A lot of you are not men. So don't make the misconception or think that because I'm talking about women need to learn how to serve, that means all men are perfect and great and got it all together and understand their role. A lot of brothers don't understand their roles at all. That's why I made videos about that already. But I decided to make this video so that I can speak on these issues in a very raw, uncut way. Being married is a business. Being married is not a fantasy. It's real life with real issues, and it needs real solutions and real women who know how to serve a man. Your man should be happy. Your man should be delighted when he sees you. Your man should be very pleased with you, that when his co-workers or anyone asks, how are you in your relationship, that man can boldly praise you and say, I got a good wife. My wife takes care of me. She caters to me. She makes sure I'm fed. She helps me when I'm down. She's encouraging. She has the best sex. This, that, the other. She raises the kids properly. She balances out her time. She listens. She learns. She's a good woman. You ask the average black man, what do he think of his wife on a scale to from 1 to 10? I guarantee you, many of you women will be a 4 and a 5. Matter of fact, a 3. Between 3 to 5, that's where you'll score. Most of you won't even get to an 8 because you're just not that good at all. Not at all. When it comes to serving, you don't serve. A man will judge you by your character. If you're argumentative, that man is not pleased with you. So if you think arguing all night is going to make your man happy with you, think again. He's not. You have to be well-pleasing to a man. Having a bitter attitude is not going to make your man vouch for you. He's not. He's going to want to be away. Every time he see you, he already doesn't know the stress level is about to go up. So he walks out the house. Because most of you women, you just want to argue. That's not what marriage is for. Marriage is a safe haven of you catering to a man. That's what that man needs. Peace from a woman or women. Peace is what men need. But most of the brothers that are in these unions are stressed because the women provide no sense of a safe haven. No sense of peace. No nourishment for that man's belly. Not even medical or health assistance do most men get from their wives in today's day. The men have to run to the hospital. You as a woman ought to be the one who is the healer in the household. who, when someone is sick, you nurse them back to health. That's called serving your man like a patient in a hospital. You have to serve him, cater to him. If he's sick in the sexual department, you need to provide him sexual healing. But it's sad because you don't even do that. Ain't that sad? But when you with your friends, you'll talk and act like you and your man have this great sex life. But you know good and well that you ain't doing a damn thing. That's sad. Anyway, I'm going to sign out right here. Leave your comments and feedback, your hate mails. Your boy Ringo, Ringo TV RAW, bringing you a real, up and close and personal video with truth about the purpose of a woman in a marriage is to serve and cater to a man. I'm out. Peace. It's as impressive as a fine-looking sister when she walked down the street. You're looking at her, man, you're like, man, damn, she look good, man. And you know, with me, you know, it's different. Like, I can see a sister from a mile away. Like, I don't know, us as men, we can see a woman like 18 blocks down. She could be 18 blocks down. I can't